Hey everyone, it's Jonathan and welcome back to our mini-series talking about the best in animation from 2025. For today's episode, I am joined by, in my opinion, the OG animation podcasters, Morgan and Chelsea from the Animation Addicts podcast with the Rotoscopers, or as I've always called it, just the Rotoscopers podcast. Morgan and Chelsea are like at least 90% of the reason I have this podcast, so it's always fun to have them back for another episode. And this isn't the only one. We recorded 3 podcasts in one day, so stay tuned. We will have more with them coming soon. For now, let's talk 2025 animation, specifically what their favorites were from last year, and if there are any they think I need to catch up on. Well, thanks for doing a top 5 with me. I'm trying to get a few more people to do this year than I have in years past. Part of this is because I want to know what I've missed out on, if there's any hidden gems. So, do you guys have numbered lists or do you just have a random list?
More of a random list for me.
Okay. Well, let's just throw out whatever you want to start with. Like, what is one of your favorite movies? Of your top 5 animated movies?
Okay, so I could talk about some of mine that were my top 5 favorites. Obviously, I didn't see everything out there, but I think top would have to be K-pop Demon Hunters. I know it is definitely very, I guess,
Yes.
is it overrated? I don't know if it's overrated because every single time that I watch it, I'm like, this is so great. This is excellent.
Yes.
I love it. I can't not like it. I've probably seen it, I don't know, 10 times, various points. And I still am very captivated every single time that I sit down and I start watching it. So that one definitely is top of my list.
That one is one of my top favorites too. I haven't fully numbered my list yet because I'm doing this whole series and then I'm going to make my final ranking in one final long ranking episode. But right now, I think K-pop Demon Hunters is sort of tied with Vengeance Most Foul.
Oh, yes.
Both of them are so good and they're so different that it's really hard for me to say which one's better than the other.
I was gonna say Vengeance Most Foul was so delightful. And everything that you ever watch of Wallace and Gromit, it just has, a very delightful feeling. And so I definitely agree that both of those are up on my top. If I were to go for my next one, I don't really have these in order, but definitely a standout was David. The animation was beautiful and there was a lot of really good songs in it. And it just overall was something that was like, I look back on and as being like, that was good. And then also The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tune movie.
That is also on my list.
It was definitely a movie that I was like, this is fun. This takes me back and I like it.
Yes, they did such a good job capturing the feel of Looney Tunes. Because not every Looney Tunes thing that they've tried to do to reintroduce the characters to the modern times has really worked for me. Some have, some haven't. Like, there was a series, I think I reviewed it for the Rotoscopers website years ago, Wabbit. I don't know if you guys ever saw that one. That one was a tough watch.
There are movies like that.
Well, that one was a whole series, and that was one of those where they sent me the DVD.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Trying to watch all of the episodes was like, oh, this is tough.
Yeah, absolutely.
But this was so much more successful at bringing the Looney Tunes to a modern day. Even though it's very 1950s inspired, it has enough modern stuff in it that it's the perfect crossover between old and new sensibilities.
Yeah, that's definitely on my list as well. I thought it was so enjoyable. It was very entertaining. The humor was great. It was funny. It was fun. And the hand-drawn animation, I think can't overlook. I mean, people are always clamoring for hand-drawn, the return of 2D. And then when something finally comes, no one gives it the time of day. But this, was 2D, very traditional process, not the 2D that they kind of do through computers and it's like a more of a puppet 2D animation. This is like the true 2D that we think of. And so, yeah, that one was just great.
Yeah, definitely. I've got a couple on my list that I don't know I haven't decided if I will include them in my final ranking because they're not like true full-length animated features, but we have 2 longer than short film, like when you think short films, it's like 10 minutes. These are kind of longer than that. One of them I know you guys watched, Snow Bear. That one
It
Snow
was
was,
lovely.
Snow
it
Bear
was
was
so
amazing. Yeah.
good. It was, I watched this, I was like, I want more. I want this to be a full length animated feature.
It reminds me of the Kylo Ren screenshot. More. The gift that you see. More. That's you. That's what I imagine.
Yeah. And then there's another short. I don't know if you guys would have seen this one or not. This one is an adult animated thing, but Adult Swim's The Elephant. I
Mhm.
watched this and I immediately started texting people like, I want to do a podcast on this thing. I need to talk to somebody about this. It was
Nice.
it is such an interesting piece of animation. The concept was, you guys know the game Exquisite Corpse,
Mm-mm.
where each person draws part of a picture, like somebody draws the head, then
Mm.
folds it over, and the next person draws the body,
Hmm.
folds it over, the
Yes,
next
yes,
person draws
yes.
the leg. So it's like that, but an animated short, like half-hour short. So one person did the first chunk, one person did the middle, and one person did the end. And
Oh, that's amazing. And not
somehow,
knowing what was happening?
yes,
Oh,
somehow, beyond all reason, it worked so well. I was shocked at how well it worked.
that's awesome. I'll have to check it out.
I mean, it partially helps of who was doing it because it was four showrunners of different Cartoon Network series. Pendleton Ward from Adventure Time, and then Ian Jones Cordy and Rebecca Sugar, who are married, but they've both done their own shows. Rebecca Sugar had Steven Universe, and Ian
Hmm.
Jones Cordy had OKKO. They collaborated on the middle section. And then Patrick McHale, who did Over the Garden Wall, did the end.
Yeah. Hmm.
And I probably partly because of how talented those guys are, it just worked. Like they came up with a rough idea of what they wanted the overall themes of the short to be, and then they all went in their own direction, did their own thing. They had somebody kind of as a go-between to make sure that things were going to line up, but it worked. Like it
Hmm.
was shockingly good.
Awesome. I love it. Okay. Add it to the list.
Yeah, definitely. I totally recommend that one.
Let's see. So for other ones, so we already talked about Wallace and Gromit: Vengeance Most Foul, which was so fun, such a delight. You know, when I reviewed it, it felt like we had just been like no time had passed since the last Wallace and Gromit,
Hmm.
which had been quite a while. It just these films are so timeless and they're very consistently good. I
Hmm.
don't think
Yes.
there ever is one that's bad. Like when you watch it, you're so delighted with what you're seeing and it's so charming. And
Yes.
that's what this one was.
Even mediocre Aardman animation is still great.
Yeah.
It's like pizza.
Exactly. In all of its forms, pizza is great.
Yes.
So Chelsea, did you? So I'm looking at my list. I have K-pop Demon Hunters, Vengeance Most Foul, The Day the Earth Blew Up, and then I guess if I were to pick like two other ones, I guess I'd go more of the David and King of Kings. I thought those kind of rounded out my top five. Now there was Light of the World, which I still have not gotten around to seeing, which that one is 2D, and I that's by the Bancroft brothers, and I really, really, really want to see that one, but I can't chime in on that one. But I think we were talking with Rachel Wagner, or I was, and talking that it's surprising that these Christian films kind of came in threes in 2025.
I feel
Mhm.
like that happens with other things too. It's just like studios get on a kick and then suddenly there's a brief window where there's this theme. Like a few years ago, there was that Bigfoot kick that everybody got on.
Yes. Or there were, yeah, the Bigfoot slash, yeah, there was a Bigfoot one, and then there was like an Abominable Snowman one,
Yeah, I kind of merged those
which are kind of the
together in my
same. Yeah.
head.
Yeah. But it's just,
Rachel had mentioned that because we recorded one of these with her and Stanford. We all got
oh,
together to record their top five, and she mentioned David. Like she talked about the three, but she said that if you watch any of them, David is the one that's worth checking out. So I
yeah.
need to add
I
that
would
to my
agree.
list to watch.
Yeah. I see King of Kings was really interesting. It was based on a Charles Dickens, basically unpublished manuscript about the life of Christ, and it's told as Dickens telling it to his children, kind of get him excited about these stories instead of maybe, a real hero or a real, Christ, being the ultimate
Hmm.
instead of, he's really into Arthurian legends and dragons and all those things. So it was an interesting way to do it because it's been done lots of times before. And I liked the way that they did it, but I don't know if it have as much rewatchability on a consistent basis. But it was still quite good. Yeah.
I'd heard about that one and I thought it sounded interesting, and then I watched the trailer and was like, it kind of looks generic, and then I never made it a priority.
Yep. Trailers. They can make or break you.
They really can.
It's so funny. Actually, thinking of this, I went and saw Michael last night, and they had the trailer for the new He-Man movie. And I had seen a previous trailer, and it made me so excited to see it. I was like, oh my gosh, this looks like amazing. I will actually go and see this one. But then the trailer that played before Michael was terrible.
Oh,
And
no.
apparently there was an 80s He-Man live action that they had done. I had no idea, but they
Oh,
kept
yeah,
like
that was
calling
bad.
back to that and like referencing that and be like, this is for a new age, blah, blah. And it totally turned me off. So it was just very interesting because that initial trailer, I was into it. And then this one I was like, maybe not. So that's why your marketing people are important.
Yeah, well, and also it's harder too because if you are comparing yourself to anything, then you're already either setting yourself up for failure or success. And if somebody has a bad taste in their mouth about the original 1980s live action,
Yeah.
then it's already going to be like, I'm just being tainted now to whatever this is going to be. But if you would have stuck with the original animated, I for one would be thrilled because I loved that show. I have all of the DVDs, and this was something that I watched
Yes,
because my
you
brothers
do.
my brothers were really into it. And so it was just a fun thing that I would watch, and like each one of them, they have the like and thus we see, kind of an ending where it's like, now we're gonna, this is,
Here's
remember
the
this,
moral.
kids.
Yeah.
Here's
The
the
80s
moral of the
moral
story.
were the best.
Yeah. And it was just fun. And there were a lot of things about it that I really liked. And there were also a lot of things about it that I'm like, you really could have made this a whole lot better and like extended the world and the mythos on this. Um,
Well,
but
I
it was good.
guess you are going to have to go see this one. It comes out in a few weeks, or
That is true.
so
When
go
does it come
see
out?
it, and then we will circle back and get your
Okay.
thoughts.
All right. Sounds
As
good.
the He-Man clearly expert super fan.
I've never seen any He-Man anything, so I don't know anything about it.
See, and then we'll come back with Jonathan and as a He-Man blank slate and
Yes,
see what
blank
you
slate,
think
yeah.
about the movie. And then me as kind of like in the middle, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fun.
So-
It could be interesting. I did see the trailer and thought that this looked like a fun fantasy film, but I have no connection to the source material, so I wouldn't be able to judge it on whether or not it's a good, faithful adaptation.
I feel like at this point, a lot of people, especially like Gen Z, probably don't have a lot of, attachment to the source material. So that they're just
No.
kind of going in blind. I don't know.
Well, and I think
Probably.
that they could definitely expand in a lot of great ways. And so I hope that they do that and they don't try to go on nostalgia alone and be like, hey, remember this really crappy movie that we made in the 80s? Like it's totally not like that, but it totally is if you liked it. It's like, just in case you didn't like it, yeah, we're like it. No.
The people I've heard talk about He-Man like they were fans of the cartoon, at least the ones who are excited for this new one, say that they saw the original and liked it only because it was all they had, like the original live action film.
Right.
So they're excited for this one because maybe they'll get it right this time.
Oh, they're really
Yeah.
setting themselves the bar high.
I know, it's like, I try not to go in with that high of expectations for anything.
Funny side story is that my uncle Bobby he was actually roommates for a time with the voice of Skeletor. And I'm like, oh, that's amazing.
I wonder if he did the voice at him while they were roommates.
I mean, this was like long before he got that role.
Oh, okay.
And so this is like when they were like in their 20s or something in the 70s. So it was long before then, but my uncle was like, hey, I know him. The only other one that I think I would put on my list for top, quote unquote, would probably be Zootopia, even though Zootopia in itself was not Zootopia 2. I mean, it was not as good. I don't know. It was just kind of a meh. I guess because a lot of people were saying it was amazing, I had really high expectations,
Oh,
and when
that'll
I
do
watched it, I
it.
was like, what am I missing? Like, I don't know why I didn't like this as much as everybody else seemed to like it. But I do think that it was a good enough movie. Like I was not disappointed in it as a film itself. Like the next time I went and when I saw it on home viewing, it was just like, yeah, it's good. Like, okay, cool. It wasn't something that I was like expecting anything great. I think I don't know. That was just where I was. I was like, I was expecting a lot more out of this, but at the same time, it was fine.
I think it probably helped me to go in with expecting the worst because I really liked it and I expected it to be terrible because like the last sequel we'd gotten was Moana 2 and I know this one
Ooh,
doesn't have the troubled history that Moana
yes.
2 had, but I was like Disney's in a rough spot right now. I was not expecting Zootopia 2 to be that great. So when it actually was good, I was like, wow, that was really good. Like shockingly good to me.
So that is how you win people over is make it so they expect the absolute worst. So to the point that if they are not disappointed, like they could no in no way be disappointed and almost shocked that it was good at all. That's how you win. Okay.
Sadly, yes. I don't know how you guys felt about it, but I like this won't make my top five, but Bad Guys 2 is like near the top five at the moment. It'll probably
Mm,
get kicked down a little bit after I watch some of the better stuff that, I mean, hopefully better stuff that is still out there. But Bad Guys 2 is pretty good. It
yeah.
wasn't as good as the original, but I think I felt like between Zootopia 2 and Bad Guys 2, Zootopia 2 was the more successful of the sequels, but Bad Guys 2 is still fun.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know if you guys, not that it would be make your top five, but do you have any like honorable mentions of things that maybe are underrated, like in any indie films that you might have seen? I don't know how much. I don't know if anybody reaches out to you with any indie films for your podcast, but if you know of any,
No, I didn't really see anything too indie last year other than, shorts from, you know,
mm,
and I ended up seeing Flow in 2025, even though it was a December 2024 release, but in my mind it's 2025. But
Yeah.
um yeah, I'm
Almost
looking at my
well.
list to see there's Night of the Zoo Apocalypse, which was kind of an interesting one that
I've
I
heard
was
that was good. I need to see
yeah.
that.
It's a smaller studio, not I don't know what classifies as indie, but it was interesting. You could tell that they had a lot of love for the horror genre and they wanted to make it a family-friendly kind of introduction to that genre without
Hmm.
being terrifying. It was fun. It was suspenseful, and really interesting. And there's Dogman, which was okay. That was fun, but I like never needed to see it again. Smurfs was terrible. Elio was not great. And then ones that I didn't see was In Your Dreams, which was it's on Netflix, so it's on the list to see. There were two different SpongeBob movies, and I've never seen an episode of SpongeBob in my life, and so I don't even go out of my way to see these movies because it is not for me. It is not for me, and I will not appreciate this movie the way that it's meant to be appreciated. So then there's the movie Sneaks, which is about the sneakers. That just seemed like absolutely not.
I've
And then
heard it
there
was
was,
bad.
yeah, there was Niza 2, which was the highest grossing animated film of all time. It's mostly made
Wow.
all of its money in China. And then the
Rachel's told me I
Twits.
need to see that.
Yeah, I need to go see it, and there's just too many things.
I know.
So,
The
yep.
Twits I heard about and I was like, oh, I loved that book when I was a kid. And that now I've heard that it's not like the book and it's really
Hmm.
weird and not great.
Yeah.
It's hard
This
to
is,
remember that How to Train Your Dragon 2 or How to Train Your Dragon was re-released as a live
mm,
action, quote
hmm
unquote.
I never
Um,
Yeah.
saw
And
that.
Lilo and Stitch.
yeah, both of those. And while I say that, How to Train Your Dragon did it a whole lot better than Lilo and Stitch, I think Lilo and Stitch basically ruined the entire ending. But, go to our episode to hear more. But How to Train Your Dragon, I think because it was just a repeat of the original, but in live action, while cool, does not strike me as anything new, and therefore I even forgot that it came out and it was a thing. I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I never saw it. I figure I will eventually. I'll probably do a podcast on like I'm trying to get through Disney before I start any of the other studios, like going through their whole filmography.
Yeah.
But I figure I'll probably do DreamWorks at some point, and I figure I'll probably watch the live action remake when I get to How to Train Your Dragon. But it just looked
You got
like the
time.
same thing over again, so I was like, it's not a priority for me.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks for joining me for this. I'm sure we'll be back to talk about more in the future. We have some other stuff we're going to be recording today, so this will be the first thing out, so listeners can look forward to having you back for another episode later on. Until then, do you guys want to let people know where they can find you on the internet?
Sure. You can find me at Morgan Stradling everywhere. And I'm on the Animation Addicts podcast with the Rotoscopers as a co-host. So you can find that where all good podcasts are found. And then also you can go to rotoscopers.com to check out my written reviews of different movies that are coming out now and in the future.
You can find me at Chelsea Robson on Instagram. And you can also find me with Morgan on the Animation Addicts podcast with the Rotoscopers.
Okay, we'll see you again in the future for something else.
We'll be back.
Yay! We'll be back.
Thanks for listening to iHeart Animation. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe and follow my co-hosts as well. All of our links will be in the description below. If you'd like more podcasts like this one, all of our shows are available on YouTube as well as most podcast platforms. If you'd like to support this show, check out Johncast Media on Patreon for everything here, plus bonus and extended episodes you won't find anywhere else. We'll be back soon with another brand new episode, so thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.